That's nice, isn't it?
We played Joni Mitchell there for the lovely man, Mr. Bob Mortimer, who can't be here today because he is claiming to be ill. Is this correct? This is, I'm getting my headphones on. That's what we've heard.
Yes.
Now, we have, to support that or otherwise, we have Vic Reeves. He's erstwhile the straight man in the partnership here.
Yeah.
Vic...
Is he ill?
Is he ill?
Well, I think he is, yeah.
What's wrong with him?
Well, he claims to have had tonsillitis.
Oh, dear.
You know, I mean, and he looked... We were on Richard and Judy last night, and he looked terrible.
You know what, though? That would finish you off anyway, wouldn't it?
Well, that was maybe the start of it. But
he's falling apart anyway, isn't he?
He's, well, he's not very well, no.
He's decomposing, virtually. Because someone I know is working on Cattery with you, and she told me, and I won't name her, she told me that...
Well, there's only one woman in it. We can probably guess, can't we?
OK, well, one of the ladies on the show...
Actually, no, there are two women.
There you go.
So, yeah, carry on.
That she had to do a kissing scene with him, and almost immediately afterwards, one of his teeth fell out.
He's had trouble with his teeth as well.
Trouble with that's not trouble with your teeth, that's decomposition. That's virtually being a walking corpse. You can't go around with your teeth falling out.
His body's been rejecting his clothes for a long time and noticed it's turned inwards.
He's a strange man, aren't
He's a strange but lovely man.
Here's the thing, I can't claim to know either Vic or Bob, to be honest with you. I've spent a bit of time with them.
Yeah.
Vic, though, is like a lake. All surface.
Yeah.
Jim is
There's no depth.
Jim is like a... Bob is like a well. A tiny little bit, you see, but you've no idea how deep it goes or what lurks beneath. This is fair, I think. Do you think so?
And what you'll find in the bucket when you pull it up.
A lot of teeth, I imagine. And body parts. Anyway, well, we wish him well.
Well, let's hope so, yeah.
Is he genuinely a Joni Mitchell fan? 'Cause I played that
he
for
loves
him.
Joni Mitchell. He's really, truly obsessed with her.
That's strange. She does have that effect on
He
people.
goes to the concerts and weeps in the front row. But, and he's got signed painting. You know, she's a painter as well, and he's got paintings by her and all that.
Yeah, that's obsessed. Do you think she could write a song for him, The Ballad of the Missing Tooth? That'd be lovely, wouldn't it?
That'd be nice,
Something
wouldn't it?
personal for him.
Have you got your enjoying your Valentine's Day, you two boys?
What's that supposed to mean?
Yeah.
Huh? we're at the front line here.
With your love heart necklaces on.
Entertaining the nation, and he comes in and casts aspersions on our sexuality.
Disparaging.
And our gender preference.
Yeah.
You look well. In the well-fed kind of way at the moment. You look like you've got a good, filling old Christmas hair.
It's not that bad, is it?
Well, it's kind of overhanging. I thought it was a pregnant woman coming in at first.
That's the nature of the shirt.
Sure, you can do the belt up under the stomach. You're fooling no one. And braces. He's gone with the braces. I think is a sure sign that a gentleman's, shall we say, carrying a little bit of extra Christmas cheer.
It's not. I'm just safe. They call me Safe Jim in my parish. And I've heard that you wander around your parish insisting that everyone calls you the Major.
It's an honorary title, but I don't see why I shouldn't use it. You look like a farmer today. You've dressed in kind of...
How long have you known me, Jonathan?
You often look like a farmer. But really, today you look genuinely like you've been working the fields.
Well, it's not the... No, I look like...
Like a land army girl.
I found the 1930s period of dress satisfactory. I'm sticking with it.
You know what? I wish we would go back to that.
Well, you know, it's the days when men looked like men.
I'm a terrible offender, but I love the fact... Wouldn't it great me seeing those old pictures and everyone's wearing grey or black? Everyone's wearing an overcoat, even in the blistering summer.
Well, look at you now, you know, we're the same age, virtually, aren't we? Mm-hmm. And, you know, we've had our days of the flowery vest.
Has to be said, we've enjoyed the, shall we say... more feminine spectrum.
But then there is a time in your life when you have to start looking like a man.
Which I am today, where you come dressed as some sort of Humpty Dumpty. Did anyone order a Humpty Dumpty, Graham?
I've got
he comes in, sings Happy Birthday and falls off a wall. Like an egg.
It's a manly costume.
It's an egg in braces. Someone's drawn glasses on an egg and put it in a suit.
You like it.
I do.
You're going to be... you'll be having the braces on tomorrow.
Well,
you'll be pulling them.
We haven't...
nice and high.
I haven't really welcomed you to the show.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for coming.
You don't need to welcome me.
I'll
welcome myself.
Have you finished? This new series of yours is called Cattery.
That's right, and it starts tomorrow on BBC Three.
What time is it on?
10:30.
10:30 on BBC Three. And it's how many in the series?
6.
You finished them?
Take your notes.
Actually, you know what? I just realised I've probably
You are taking notes.
I want to get my facts straight.
Right, it's on at 10:30.
10:30.
Sunday night.
Okay.
BBC Three.
And who else is in it apart from you?
It's an all-star cast. You can stop writing now.
Vic Reeves, Bob Mortimer.
Yeah.
But no, it is a great cast because you've also got in it the lovely Moana Banks.
Moana.
Okay, who's terrific in it.
Tim Healy.
Tim Healy, who's great. We remember him from Alpha V the Same.
Mark Benton.
Mark Benton. He's someone I'm not. I know his name, but I'm not familiar with him.
Oh, you'd know him if you see it. He was. What do you know him from? Early Doors. He's in Early Doors, and
but he's someone
quite
in
a lot of Mike Leigh films.
In the programme, most of you are made to look quite grotesque.
Well, do you think so? Maybe I think we're not made to look grotesque. We just we're naturally grotesque.
Actually, well, you do look quite grotesque. Actually,
well, I'm wearing, you know,
yourself.
Bob's wearing a kind of a wig that makes him look a bit like Russell Crowe.
But Bob's interesting because he's someone who can look quite handsome.
Yeah.
Right angle when the light favours him. And at other times, he can look like something that's crawled out of the crypt.
My son said he looked like an old man when he saw him. But then I had to point out that he was.
Well, to children, of course, we are quite old.
Well, yeah, I know.
This is something we're going to have to come to terms with quite soon.
Let's just gently come to terms with it now.
How old do you feel inside?
Inside, I feel 16, like you.
No, I feel about 22.
Yeah. Split the difference, I'll do 20.
I've always been a bit more mature than you. So, sorry, you were saying?
So, I don't know, what was I saying? I was saying I wear a full English beard.
But really, you know what's interesting I thought about the show, and I've seen episode 1. Thank you for not sending me any copies, by the way. That was smart of you and BBC Three. Here we were interviewing you, and not sending a single copy.
But you've seen it, haven't you?
Fortunately, someone from the show, one of the women in the show, came out of my house with a copy of the...
I knew that. So did you enjoy it?
I very much enjoyed. I only saw episode 1.
So tell me, what's it about?
It's about Catterick's search for his long-lost son in a village of crazed eccentrics, the leading exponent of which appears to be a heavily set, egg-shaped man with a beard. Also, I actually wanted to find out what happens in the story. I actually wanted to follow it as a story. Well, you say that, but you don't always. Often you can see something which has a bit of a narrative thread, but you don't really get hooked in because it's
there's a lot going on. There's lots of twists, and you have to watch the lot.
Well, well, let's hope that we do then. It's like 24. 24, but more gripping.
It's very gripping.
But here's what I was going to say, because I was going to lump some praise in your direction, is I like the fact that at the very beginning, put that down and pay attention, please. I like the fact that you walk out and you're not overdoing it, because often your acting is too big. You're quite a clumsy actor in the past.
Me?
And yet, in this, you show some skill and subtlety.
Well, there's a lot of skill and subtlety.
You've actually learned something.
Learned how to act.
Yeah.
Hang on, my knife is getting stuck in my back.
Oh, for goodness sake, you've come in with it. You're wearing a knife. That's not legal, is it? What's the need of that?
Well,
some sort of Valentine's Day ritual.
In case
You're going to put Andy in a wicker man and burn him to celebrate your
It's
love.
only a little knife, isn't it?
What have you got a knife on your foot?
In case I needed...
You are the most ridiculous man of your age, aren't you? No wonder. You know why Bob's not in?
Anything.
Bob doesn't want to be seen out publicly with you unless there's cash involved. That's you. And who can blame him?
Oh, where'd you keep your knife?
An egg with a knife. I haven't... now you're claiming someone's broken wind in the studio.
Someone has.
It's not me.
If I had, you'd know it, because I tell you...
I wasn't going to say anything, but
I'm not good inside.
You're not.
If I broke wind now, you'd have people coming in with foam and hoses and protective gear on.
So is this arriving now, then?
Let's have a little bit of music. Now, have we chosen something that Vic would like?
I was going to play something up to the news, so I've put the Jet track in, because they're playing live next week.
Vic comes from the north of England. He likes
Jet.
old rock. He'd probably like some Rainbow, wouldn't you?
But Rainbow, yeah, what have you got?
Well, I've got the best of Rainbow right here, my
Quick
friend.
then.
What do you mean quick then, you How about, you know what we all love is long live rock and roll, don't we?
Go on, stick it on.
Okay, let's...
I went to see Rainbow once by mistake.
What do you mean by mistake?
I sent my friend to get tickets for Roxy Music. And he said Roxy Music had sold out, so I got the next one beginning with R.
All right, what else have you got in the R section? Well, there you go. This is for Roxy Music fans everywhere. The Flaming Lips, one of the better bands. What a great band. We are living in golden times, my friends.
We are.
Seize the moment, enjoy it. Don't sit around dreaming about the past or wondering about the future. Live now. What do you think about that statement?
Forget the 1930s.
Although, the other day, very funny you should say that, I bought a CD. There's a shop called Times Past or something, and I bought a CD of wartime
Pastimes.
songs, pastimes,
Yeah.
and I tried to get the children to listen to it in the car.
Which song? Wartime.
All wartime, including "Hang Out the Washing on the Siegfried Line."
Well, they're great songs.
Well, the children
Your
didn't
children
agree.
accept them.
They found the lyrical content strange. There was one line about "She's the hottest thing to hit town since the incendiary bomb," and we thought, well, you wouldn't make a song like that now.
And so they just said, Dad, turn it off. We want rough pageant back on.
No, she wanted gloomy music like Muse, my 12-year-old. You know, gloomy, suicidal teenage music.
That's what
which
they like, innit?
We don't encourage. We have Bob Mortimer on the phone.
Hello, Jonathan.
Mr. Mortimer,
I can
how are
hear you.
you?
Can you?
Jonathan, I'm looking for an egg in specs.
Do you not agree with me that he's become egg-shaped, rather?
I think he's turning gradually into Raymond Burr. You know the Ironside?
Not quite as sort of agile. Although he's on a wheelie chair in here right now. Maybe we're going to go around and be Perry Mason.
Tell me about this knife he's carrying, Jonathan, please.
He's got a small... It's more like... You know what it's like? It's more of a dirk, I believe, like a Scottish ceremonial weapon, tucked in the back of his rather ridiculous tweed pants. He's a fool. It's like a grotesque mockery of an adult man.
Have one there, you know?
What's happened?
Well, where do you keep your knife?
Do you see? He keeps saying stuff like that as if we're going to laugh, but I think we should.
I wanna know where you
encourage him, Bob.
No, that's quite right. I'm so sorry I'm not there, but it's probably a good thing.
You sound quite... I feel like we're talking through... It's like talking to Winston Churchill or something. It sounds like you're in the 40s. So what's wrong with you? You've got tonsillitis?
I've got tonsillitis, I've got arthritis, and I've had another tooth fall out, Jonathan.
Oh, good Lord. You must be crumbling, though.
Yeah, it feels a bit like that, yes. But of course, the same thing happens to all of us at some point.
Yeah, but to you, it seems to be accelerated. You know what we should do is, let's see if we can get Griff Rhys-Jones to restore you. See if we can put some scaffolding up outside.
I would like that, thank you very much.
Maybe people could send money in.
Yeah, well, just generally, that's always a good idea, I think.
Have a Bob benefit.
Children like Muse as well. Is there something going on with kids?
I
these
think,
days?
youngsters do like the gloomier rock, don't they, you see?
It's strange, though, isn't it?
Although you were the first person to ever introduce me to Radiohead, Mr. Mortimer.
Was I?
Yeah, you were.
I think Muse are probably better these days, don't you think?
No, I don't, and I think that's heresy.
Actually, do you know, you've convinced me you're wrong. I'm wrong. Radiohead are much better.
Didn't take much, did it?
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations on Catterick, which is, let me just remind people, it's a new series. If you're a Vic and Bob fan, you should check it out. But even if you're not, you should check it out, because I think it's the most interesting thing you guys have ever done.
I think so.
Thank you, John, for it. It's
Seriously.
a good story.
Well, it's really... You know what's good, though, is it showed you've... Because I know, from having met you many times over the years, you've always wanted to do something like this.
Yes, we have, but I don't think we've ever been trusted to.
Well, it's not so much that you just haven't been good enough in the past. And you've tried, and let's face it, the Weekenders, let's face it, not very good.
Yeah, it was very different.
And some of your stories... Remember that idea you had for a film about a throat billy?
Yeah.
They made it.
Well, we're going to resurrect that.
No,
I think.
you see, this is where you are... You know, most people come up with new ideas once old ideas have been rejected. You guys cling on to them. You're like Kate Winslet at the end of Titanic. Let go of the raft, okay?
No, we're waiting for the public to catch up.
Can you explain to me the concept of throat billy, then?
It was... Oh, do we have to go into it now?
Well, I feel maybe you should, because here's an idea...
Man became famous because of a little throat billy living in his throat.
Right, and a throat billy is what exactly?
Well, it's...
The BBC gave the series to the throat billy inside his throat rather than to him. But as he died, an alpine arse biscuit or something.
Now you see, and you wonder why this didn't get made. This has been kicking around since about 1989.
It was basically suggesting that, you know, the man who had the throat billy in his throat was revealed.
But here's the thing, you talk about throat billy as if this is some sort of common idea, as if people are meant to know what a throat billy
Well,
is.
it's the little hillbilly that lives in your throat.
Well, I rest my case.
Jonathan, it's a metaphor, you know.
But it's not a very clear one. It's a midget, tiny, rockabilly man living in someone's throat.
Yeah, well, that's what it's
They
about.
have one.
I'm no doctor, but that's impossible.
It has happened.
So, Bob, what are your plans today for this most romantic of days?
Well, I'm going to the doctor's in 10 minutes, and then I'm going to the dentist at 12:15.
Oh, well, that spells romance in any language.
He is gorgeous, my dentist. You're right.
But it'd be nice for your wife for you to come home with you know, a fairly full head of teeth for
I
once.
think she'd probably prefer me not to come home, to be honest.
But you know what's terrible when you say that? When most people say you think they're joking with Bob, you never quite know. You never quite know.
What have you got planned, Jonathan? Anything nice?
Well, we're meant to be going out for a nice dinner later on,
Oh, yeah.
and possibly some sex.
Dear.
What's wrong with that, to admit that? Where do you think babies come from? Huh?
I don't like to think of you on the job.
No, that image is...
No.
You say that, but I think we all know you do like to
No,
think
I
of
really
you.
don't. All the
Yes.
pustules.
I've had the nodules removed.
You just had them reordered.
You know what? I'm enjoying this. I'm beginning to get the feeling that maybe no one else is.
That's always the case, Jonathan. I can go anywhere. I go. Gosh, shall I just go now?
Are you? Where are you at the moment? Though are you in pajamas?
No, I'm not.
What are you wearing?
I'm wearing combat trousers, ready for action.
Oh, dear.
And a youthful sports top to pretend to my children that I've still got time. You know that I'm still pertinent.
But you're one of these people that when you wear that sort of thing, you look like a refugee who's just had a care parcel.
Exactly. I'm often stopped by the Kent police.
And how are your family? How are your lovely children?
They're fine. You know, they like to rock.
I saw them in Catterick. I believe that's your two boys in one of the
Yes.
first
Yeah.
sequences. Very
Yes.
good.
And underage, and they got very well paid for that.
I hope that all the child labour rules and regulations were adhered to, and you didn't.
Yes, of course, I didn't touch them.
I meant, and that you didn't work them too hard.
Oh, right, no, of course not.
Oh, you know what? Maybe we better end this conversation. I think whatever drugs you need from your doctor, you better go get. Hey, Bob, it's really nice talking to you. I'm sorry we didn't meet up
I
today.
couldn't make it. It's a genuine, I promise you.
But once again, though, really, congratulations, because we sat down to watch Catterick last night, and we really liked it, and we thought it was really different, but also, genuinely, it shows, I think, a move forward for you guys. Which is
Now,
quite...
Jonathan, as you sat down to watch it, what could you suggest for people to have as an accompaniment?
Well, I'll be honest with you before. I think enter into the right spirit. I sat down with a heavy heart. I thought it's going to be
I'm talking about,
another
you know-
disappointing venture from Vic and Bob, who were willing to do well. You know, but you're a bit like our Eurovision song.
What, did you have a
every
jam
year.
sandwich or anything to
No, you know what I had?
What?
Cigar.
A cigar?
Yeah. But I've cut out the middleman now. I have cigars which actually are filled with fat that drips out like the other. Because I like that.
They're nice cigars.
Yeah, I suck the fat out. Like marrow bone.
Do you know that advert? When I saw that advert, I immediately wanted to go out and buy a kebab.
With extra chilli sauce.
It just looks like a kebab.
Do you smoke anymore?
No.
You given up?
Yeah.
And has Bob given up?
Yeah.
No, Bob, you haven't given up. Bob will never give up smoking, will you?
No, I don't know. I shan't. When did you give up, Jim?
Huh? I just gently steam these days.
He's like a kipper. He just goes into a small smoky room in the morning and gets his dose there. But Bob, you'll never stop smoking, will you?
No, I don't intend to. I have no plans to at the moment.
I think if you gave up smoking, you'd die. I think it's probably the only thing that's keeping you together. He is like a cured fish, isn't he? It's like working with a gamey pheasant, Bob. You have to hang him up in the morning and let nature take its toll.
The nicely smoked sausage.
We're all coughing now. This is like old blokes down here. How's your health, Bob?
Sorry, I must have a cigarette.
Hold on. Did I just hear a tooth hit the floor? Bob, good luck at the
My
dentist.
testicles.
You got to get some nice balsams.
I will, yes, I'll thrust my head into them.
Well, good luck with them.
Have a lovely day.
See you, thank you for having me.
Okay, no, it's always
Goodbye.
a pleasure.
Bye.
And well done again. Congratulations. He's a lovely
Yeah.
man, isn't he? You can see he's the kind of respectable face of the
Yeah.
two, because you send him into meetings and people say, they're saying, you send Jimmy and he's off about throat billies and knives. You can't go into a meeting with a knife in your pocket.
Why not?
Because it's not
Well,
done.
but you know, but why people have... What do you have? I bet you're modern. You have a pistol or something, don't
Do
you?
you still think you're in West Side Story?
Well, it's American, isn't
He
it?
thinks he's in the Kent
Oh, I
version
know.
of West Side Story.
It's just useful. It's useful.
What do you use it for?
Scraping things and cutting things down that I see that I want.
Have you started whittling yet?
Yeah, I've been whittling for years.
I can imagine you as a whittler. So you're going to be like Jack Hargreaves.
I already am.
You remember him?
That's what I do remember. Yeah, out of town.
What was that, the boat he used to make always with twigs? A coracle.
A coracle.
Have you ever made a coracle?
I've got one at home. I use it
Are you-
regularly.
I suspect you probably have made a coracle.
I have, yeah. With it's basically, yeah. You get a skin an animal, wrap it around a circle.
I don't
put a
remember-
bit of tar on it.
He never skinned an animal, Jack Hargreaves.
Not that you know of, but
He
I've
just did
got
the-
other information.
He just used the twig-based coracles, which was just essentially like a
Well, what
large
do you
nest.
think? If you put some twigs in a pond, it's going to
Yeah.
sink, isn't it?
Well, I don't know.
So what do you think? What do you think he used
Oh,
instead
no,
of
if you
skin?
put a twig in a pond, it doesn't sink.
Well, yeah, but a coracle is a boat. You sit in it.
Yeah, but loads of twigs would float.
If you want to have a twig-based coracle, then you're...
I think your ignorance of country manners has been highlighted here, and for someone dressing like a farmer, that's
Look, do me a
shocking.
nice design of a coracle, and I'll tell you whether it's going to work or not.
We'll put a record on. I'll draw you a coracle as I see it, and you can then critique it.
Do you know, we had Rainbow on earlier. Mm-hmm. What me and my wife like to do is, you know that sort of yay you get at the end of a lot of rock songs?
Yeah.
Try and attach that style of singing to the end of any song. And perhaps if you go to church, you could put it on at the end of Onward Christian Soldiers. Onward Christian Soldiers. You basically turn any song you can into a rock song.
Do you go to church?
No. But I stand outside and
busking
and sing songs by Rainbow.
Uh-oh, that farmer blows outside. Our Father, who art in heaven. You've got not a bad rock voice, though, has to be said.
That's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
that's what the parson tells me.
I wonder. Too cool for church. Let's have some records.
Yeah.
That's nice.
It is.
Roddy Frame.
Roddy Frame, yeah.
We're here with Mr. Vic Reeves. Bob Mortimer is not well, but they're both to be seen in a new BBC Three comedy drama called Catterick, which is quite unlike anything else I've seen. I suppose the nearest thing would be The League of Gentlemen, and you're going to get that comparison a lot, I think.
Well, it's not... Well, yeah, if you want to say that, but it's a lot straighter. It's got a lot more of a following story.
But it's... Well, I think what I mean is because it sort of takes place in a strange fantasy world populated largely by grotesques, such as yourself.
They're very real people.
Well, I do agree with you. There are real people. That's what I like about them. The first guy, huffing and puffing, the guy you play, what's his name?
Chris.
Chris, when he walks in huffing and puffing, I thought he was my Uncle Steve.
But it's just... why do you say it's grotesque? Because, you know, I mean, he wears a black bomber jacket and jeans and shoes.
You know he's grotesque.
He's got a good-sized beard.
Yeah, he's a grotesque.
He's not a grotesque. You wouldn't have said he was grotesque about 15 years ago. You said he's manly.
No, not 15, 25 years ago.
All right, then.
You saw
but,
a lot of people...
but the reason he is like that is because he's been indoors looking after his mum.
One of the things I've always admired about you, apart from just your consistency, which has always struck me as being one of the reasons why, no, genuinely, you two have a kind of a consistent comic view of the world, which has never really changed. Now, many people would say, well, that just means you haven't got any new ideas. And I maintain it means that, you know, you are genuine. It's the real McCoy. But I've always been amazed and impressed by the way you spot commonplace things and see the humour in them, not in a kind of observational comment, not like, you ever noticed... you ever noticed that kind of stuff, but in a way that we will see things. For example, there's one shot in the drama, and I don't know whether it's meant to be funny or whether I had altered my mind to be in your kind of zone, but there's a shot through a dimpled glass window.
Yeah.
And it struck me as being quite remarkable that anyone ever bothered dimpling glass. And I'm assuming this was what you were after.
I love dimpled glass.
You see, I thought that.
You know, it's going out of fashion now, isn't it? And what is that you've just drawn on your pad there, Jonathan?
It's a coracle.
Is it a coracle?
Well, what do you think it was? It's meant to be a coracle.
I thought it was a side view of a lady's nethers.
Oh, well, it looks bushy, obviously, because I've used cross-hatching to suggest twigs.
But you were having quite a meaningful little chat there whilst drawing.
Well, it's what we call multitasking. And all of us better broadcasters are capable.
But what do you think of dimpled glass then? Are you a fan?
I'm a fan of glass, full stop. Now, can you clear this up for me? Is glass a liquid that behaves like a solid, or a solid that behaves like a liquid?
Well, it doesn't behave like a liquid anyway, is it?
It does. No, it melts. If you were to leave a piece of glass in place and somehow manage to avoid it getting broken over several millennia, you would come back and find a hard puddle.
Yeah, but everything melts under duress.
You see, well, he has to pretend he knows more.
Well, it is. I mean, yeah, when the sun reaches its peak, things begin to melt.
I think we were on safer ground when we talked about that odd knife you've found. Do you have any other weapons on you, by the way? How did you get that past security at the BBC?
Well, it's just strolled by. In fact, you know, I could have walked straight in here.
Well...
You did?
I know, exactly.
But would you take that on a plane with you?
I did, actually.
No,
I bought this knife in Iceland, and it did strike me that I was carrying weapons through customs.
And you didn't get stopped?
No, but I'll tell you another time as well. I was in Edinburgh doing a book signing thing, and it was near bonfire night, so I bought a lot of what were basically high explosives. I bought a lot of fireworks.
Well, you see, you say high explosives to make it dramatic. You bought fireworks.
But I mean, you know, like the huge, like...
Well, yeah, but they're legally available.
You know, a 10-inch high bomb.
Yeah.
And, you know, I didn't just have one. I had a suitcase full of them. And I put them on the plane, and I got back, and I thought, God, you know, how did I get away with that?
You put your fireworks on plane?
Yeah.
Wait, why? What were you
Well, I
thinking?
wanted to take them home.
Well, why didn't you buy them
I
at
wasn't-
home?
Because there was a cheap shop in Edinburgh. Selling cheap fireworks. But I mean, the thing is, I didn't realise until I got back.
That they
Oh,
could
God,
have-
I've got them all they're in the boot of the plane.
Don't they have sniffer dogs to check for fireworks?
Well, clearly not. You
Maybe
know,
it's
I
a
mean,
different sort of explosive.
I've been through with high explosives and weapons.
Have you still got that Semtex jacket you had made years ago? I had a fantastic firework display in my back garden.
Did you?
Did you have a big one in yours?
I had one Catherine wheel,
I bought some whoppers.
but I had a real Catherine wheel, the real torture thing.
You see, that's why really we needed Bob here.
Yeah.
Do you know what a Catherine wheel is?
Then there wouldn't have been moments like that. Kind of awkward moments. What is a Catherine wheel?
It's an old medieval torture wheel.
Yeah.
It's basically a big wheel with knives on it, and you spin it round and it crushes the body and then chops them up.
How lovely on Valentine's Day.
So I hired a real Catherine wheel and slaughtered some peasants.
Here's the thing, see, it doesn't get any better.
No.
He's trying to make it work now, but it's not really going anywhere good, is it?
But thank you for grooming me.
Let's finish this interview
Shall we?
with perhaps each of us giving out our top Valentine's tip for...
Well, we've already heard what you were going to do.
No, we haven't.
Well,
That's
you
not
said-
what I'm
you
going
said
to
you-
do. That's not a tip. That's
You
my
said you're going to have a
plan.
meal and then have sex.
Possibly.
I'm going to go home, see my lovely wife, Nancy, have a nice little chat.
Right, okay, no. Let me explain what I want here. That's not what I want from you. We
Right.
don't care what you're doing today. What we want is give people a tip. This is not just about us. This is a day of love for many. Offer up people who are out there who are thinking, oh, it's Valentine's Day, what should I do? What would you suggest they do? It needn't be the same as what you're doing.
Nice. Go to your wife or husband with a comb or a brush, some nice grooming.
Good, okay, like a monkey would do.
Yeah, and you know, pick stuff off them.
And while you're chatting, and you can then bond.
Have a nice little chat and a nice groom.
All right, Andy,
I think you just hold each other.
hold each other.
Yeah.
What?
You don't. No one ever does that, do they?
Over a bridge.
Because you never have the time. Not over a bridge.
Round the neck.
That's what I do.
I'm going to suggest a sensual massage. Lie down in front of your partner and rub yourself. Let them watch you oiling yourself up, giving yourself sensual pleasure.
When your wife or husband is sitting watching the telly in a chair, just go and stand in front of them and stare at them for a bit.
I am announcing a wind amnesty. I will not break wind for the next 14 hours.
You can't do that.
You can do. I know someone who didn't break wind for years.
Who?
Finally, one fireworks night. He blew up. Roland Rivon claims not to have broken wind for years.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't believe it either. but
That's
he
a
claims.
lie.
Yeah, it's got to be a lie, isn't it? Okay, but, you know, sometimes it's a loving lie.
You might have hidden it for years.
Well, let's not dwell on it. We haven't got the man to answer for himself.
We'll get him in and find out next week.
Where are you going to? What's the rest of your day like?
I'm going home,
Yeah.
and Nancy and I are going for a nice walk,
Okay. That's it.
and then we'll have a private kiss.
As opposed to what? One which the public can pay to see. A private kiss and then a bit of knife play, perhaps. A bit of Valentine's whittling.
And I'll let her use me knife to do with her whittling with.
Well, I can't think of a more perfect day. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Catterick. It's really good.
Well, thank you very much, Jonathan. Continue hailing it
will do.
and continue to watch.
I will mention it again on next week's show to remind people if they missed it.
That's very nice of you.
And we're going to play... Did we play a track that you particularly wanted or not? Yeah, I can't remember.
Oh, I've forgotten now.
We played Rainbow.
Hey,
for
what
you.
about Tony Christie?
We've already
We played
played
him.
some Tony Christie.
We'll play the new single from Kylie because she's on next week.
Is she?
Do you like
Yeah.
a bit of Kylie?
She's on here, is she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you'd surprised? Let's hope she doesn't bring a knife.